and welcome to the Psychic Side here on the A1R Psychic Radio Network, Moonstruck TV, and Lightning Television. And we're delighted to have you here as a guest on the #1 Psychic Radio Network on Earth. I'm your host. I'm John Cappello, and I'm a psychic medium from the North Texas area. And this is our weekly podcast where we debunk the skeptics. So we like to talk about psychic things and psychic events and impressions. And today's no different. Today, I want to talk a little bit about precognition. Now, you might not think that you've had a precognitive event in your life, but if you've ever had a hunch, or you've ever had a gut feeling, or if you just something just came to you to where you had a solution for something or you knew how to fix something, then that could be a precognitive psychic event or a psychic impression. You know, these things happen so fast for us, and they're just so natural that we don't consider them to be psychic, but they are. And the reason why a lot of times we have psychic precognition is to prepare us for an event. Now, some people see their future wife or their future husband. They see, well, some say they see the lottery numbers. I wish I did. But some people can visualize future events. A lot of times people visualize something negative, something, an accident, or someone passing away. And precognition prepares us, especially when it comes to something that's negative. It prepares us for something that we may have to deal with, and so we're not so taken by surprise. And it's a good thing that the universe, God, allows us to have, so that we can function. Because a lot of times when we have such a shock or we have such a difficult situation that we might be facing, it's important that we have that heads up. And if we have that heads up, then we're able to get through that, at least that initial time period, to handle the situation in the best possible way. You know, a lot of times people, when they have an event, they kind of become a little numb. They defer their feelings to later, after some time has passed, and that's a defensive mechanism, and it's part of the grief process, the shock and denial. Those things are important as well when you're dealing with precognition, because if you become a little bit numb, and I'm writing about that in my upcoming book about grief. It's a kind of the numb phase of the shock and denial stage of grief. If you're numb, it helps you get through those initial stages, those stages where you have to take care of. I hate to say the business of dealing with someone's tragedy or a tragedy. It helps you get things organized. It helps you do things that are needed in order to take care of the final needs of a loved one or a situation. Or it helps you make decisions clearly if you have to make a decision that requires something like an operation or another quick decision. So you can't be overly emotional, or you can't be catatonic, or you can't be someone that is in total straitjacket, so to speak, or paralyzed. So precognition can help prepare you for those situations that might be coming up. Now, precognition can come to you in so many different ways. And we're going to talk about that as we go through the program. But one of them is through feelings. And that's why, if you've ever heard of the term gut feeling, then you know that a gut feeling can be something which is precognitive of an event, because you might not have felt good about going to on a trip, or you might not feel good about meeting someone, or you might not have felt good about entering into a contract with someone. And it's good to pay attention to these gut feelings and inspect them. And like with all psychic impressions, you want to pay attention to them, but you don't want them to necessarily rule you. Okay. Because you want to be able to take some time to evaluate the situation and have your physical and psychic senses become, both on this basically on the same page. And if you have reason to pause because of a gut feeling or another impression, then sometimes it's good to talk to someone, maybe a psychic, maybe someone else that you trust, to sort out your reservations that you have. So it's a good defense mechanism. It's one of the reasons why we have psychic ability, so we can have that precognition. And so we'll talk a little bit about that after our first caller. So today we have our first caller in Sherry in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. So Sherry, welcome to the program. Thank you for calling.
Thank you very much.
Okay, have you called in before?
No, I haven't.
You haven't? Okay. Well, Sherry, has there been a loss around you? It seems like you have a man on your mind. Is there a situation with a man that you're dealing with?
No, but I've had a female relative that passed.
You have a female relative. Was she a very, very strong personality?
I'm sorry?
Did she have a very strong personality?
Yes, yes.
Okay, that might be why I thought maybe it was a man, but because it just seems like she was very forceful in the way that she handled things. I don't know. I'm still getting some male energy here. Do you have a father in spirit?
uh, no.
No. Okay. There's another gentleman around you, but I'm going to stick with the female energy that's come in. So this is a lady that it feels like she interacted with you very closely. Was she a business partner, or she wasn't a sister or anyone? Or was she? Because it just seems like the two of you, really engaged one another quite a bit. Does that make sense?
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, this is a person that says that she's okay. She says that it's no sweat, no sweat. She says this is a person that seemed to tackle problems as they came, and she says, I like to wrestle whatever situation comes along, and get control of it, and she just wants you to know that she's at peace. Okay, so this is a
Okay,
person
good.
that may have been a matriarch of a family, but now, was there illness around her?
Yes.
Okay. It seems to me that the illness beat her, of course, but she conquered it in the end because she's okay now. But it just seemed,
Hmm.
was this cancer or anything?
It was a hemorrhagic stroke.
A stroke? Okay. Because it just seemed to cover her entire body, and she had no control over recovery. She had no recovery ability. Okay,
That's right.
and
Yes.
I'm just going to tell you, it really made her mad. uh, it made her really mad because she just nothing worked, and so she just. But it happens when someone becomes so ill, and cancer does that too. When it metastasizes, it just gets to the point to where the person feels like, there's just nothing I can do here, and so that's why I feel like she wanted to go quickly afterwards, because she didn't want to be around you. She wasn't that type of person that liked to be, kind of caged, so to speak, in her body.
Exactly.
And so
Exactly.
so she just says, I'm free of all of that, and she just says, she says, I know so many people here. So does she know a lot of family members in spirit? Does she have a husband or a father in spirit?
Her parents and her sister are the closest.
Okay, she must have been close to her father because there's certainly a man
Yes.
here that's
Yeah.
around her, and so now also, did she ever like to be around horses or around big animals or live out in the country at all?
She loved country drives,
She
going
loved
for
country.
drives
Well,
out to the country.
she
Going
did
for
okay,
drives
country
out to the
drives.
country?
Okay, because she seemed to love that, love the outdoors, and love the the fresh air and things like that. So she may not have been able to enjoy that like she wanted to in this life, but she certainly is there now, and she loves the
Hmm.
sunshine. And so in Canada, sometimes it gets you don't have full you don't have all the light that we have maybe down here in Texas, but but she sure loved the sunshine. That's what she tells me. So
Yes.
so
Yeah.
now. Do you have a question for her? She says.
Um, I guess the how she liked how we memorialized her.
Was she cremated or anything? Was she cremated?
Yes.
She's talking about jewelry. She's talking about some jewelry. Did other people get her jewelry?
It's been split among us, but I have most of it.
You have most of it, okay? Because
Yeah.
she's just saying she's saying the best memorial for me, and she enjoyed what you must have done for her, okay? Because it just seems like did all of you gather together and hold hands or anything?
Not holding hands, but we all gathered together, and myself and my two cousins, um, we did the service together.
Okay, did y'all stand in a circle at all or anything like that?
Uh, no, but side by side.
Side by side. Okay. I don't know why I'm seeing you kind of standing in a circle around her remains, but she just
Oh,
says
okay,
that
that
when
was probably at the cemetery.
at
At
the
the cemetery.
cemetery around you were standing in a circle around her around where she was placed to rest.
Yeah, like a half circle sort of thing.
Half
Yeah.
circle. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because it just seems to me like that was very moving for her, and she just says that she wants to thank everyone for coming. She says she really felt the love that all of you had for her, and she knows. She says she knows sometimes she could have been a pain, but
Yeah.
she says that she says but I wasn't all bad. Okay, so
Oh no.
so she just sends her love to you, and she just talks about the jewelry. Do what you want with it, but she hopes that if you keep it, that you will always remember her and remember the good times that you had with her. Okay,
For sure. For sure.
all right. So thank you very much. I appreciate you calling in, Sherry.
Well, thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too. Bye bye. Bye bye. So I want to talk a little bit more about precognition because skeptics will say that, well, if you're a psychic, you must see the future. Well, you only see a future. You don't see the future. You see something that could happen and something that has not come to fruition. But it's very much metaphysical in the sense that it is something that exists. It just exists beyond the physical. It exists in a feeling. It exists in a vision. It exists in a dream. Many times, precognition comes in dreams, and people will tell me, and they come to me all the time with their dreams, and tell me that, oh, I dreamt this, and it did happen. Well, that's that. I mean, depending on what it was, we're glad that we're given that opportunity to have that heads up, and because it's important. It's important for our well-being, and we're the only species that really has that detailed type of precognition. Now, they say that animals can have instinct, or animals have a little bit of that. Like they can anticipate when someone's coming to the door, or they can anticipate certain things, but not quite like humans can, because their souls are just not exactly, they're not as advanced as ours. So it's important to know that precognition is truly a gift. But also, if you have precognition, uh, you have to realize that this is not the only part of your psychic abilities. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit after our next caller. Our next caller is Erica in Kansas City, Missouri. So, Erica, how about those
Hi,
Chiefs?
how are you?
How about those Kansas City Chiefs?
They're pretty good, I think.
They're pretty good, aren't they? They sure are.
Yes, they
So,
are.
so Erica, pardon me, I'm sorry.
I said, yes, they
Okay.
are.
They are. They are. So I know you're proud of them. People in Kansas and Missouri, they're just very, very bonded to their team, and so I have to be careful when I come up there, because I don't want to get beat up. So um, but Erica, do you have children?
I do have children. I have a daughter. She's about to graduate this weekend. So yes,
About graduating this weekend from high school?
yes, uh-huh.
Okay. All right. So Erica, it seems to me that have you not been feeling well?
I've been feeling okay, but I just a little, probably not 100% like okay, but I'm not really sick or anything like that.
Okay. Okay. Well, I don't want you to be sick, but I just felt like you might have some, maybe a little bit queasy, a little bit stomach, or a little bit, just feeling a little punk today. I don't know why. I just felt that. But do you have a question for me today?
So I was just calling in to see because I turned 50 this year, and then my daughter is about to go off to college and things like that. So I think I'm going through a little bit of a pre-empty nest syndrome, and so I was just wondering what what you could possibly see for like companionship or anything like that.
Hmm. Well, that might be one reason why you're not feeling too good too, because you're going to miss your daughter. Um,
Yeah.
but when one door closes, another one opens, and so this is not just new opportunities for your daughter as she goes off to college and begins the next stage of her life, or the beginning of her adult life on her own. It feels like she might be going away to school. But this is an opportunity for you to make new plans, for you to look to the future for yourself, and see it as a point of beginning, because it's also a point of accomplishment. Because when we raise our kids and we get them through high school, it's kind of that moment, that you
Mhm.
made it, because you started that journey many, many years ago with them just being the little ones, and you've been through a lot, and the journey's not over, but it has changed. It's changed, and you're still going to be there for your daughter, but for you, this is a time for you to maybe start getting rid of some things in the home. Now, are you by yourself, or are you married?
No, I'm by myself.
You're by yourself, okay? Because it just feels like this is a time for you to just start clearing some things, and start maybe some home improvement projects, and start looking for new goals and new opportunities, new people to come into your life. Now, right now, I just don't feel like you really want a relationship at the moment. But as time goes on, there may be some new opportunities in that area as well. So so this is a time for you to kind of enjoy the college life that your daughter is getting ready to undertake now. Because the thing is, the families participate in a lot of parent activities, or sports, or different things that the college or university has to offer. So I would look into those things as well. But this is a time for you to also renew friendships or closer to girlfriends or other friends that you had. This is a point to start new things. And so I know I'm being a little vague. I'm not telling you to start a new job or anything, but that may happen too. But you may want to. That looks like you might do things in the garden. Are you a gardener?
No, not really a gardener. I'm a baker, but I'm not a gardener.
You're a what? A painter?
A baker. I have
A baker? Okay. Okay. You're a
yes.
baker. Well, can't bake too much because it's going to put too much.
Yeah.
But it seems like you like to make things.
Mhm.
So these are things that you just need to start to look to the new opportunities because they're going to be there, and as the busier you are, the 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 you won't be getting lonely. Okay. Um,
Okay.
but it's like I say, I wish I could see a new relationship coming, but it seems to me like you're very hesitant in trying to be involved with someone new at this time. Is that right?
Yeah, it sounds about right. Yeah. I do get a little
Okay.
hesitant when meeting new people.
You get hesitant meeting new people. Yeah, that's why I think
Mhm.
that you're going to be doing projects and stuff on your own, and trying to build some happiness and joy in that way, and always look forward to hearing from your daughter. And your daughter's going to come home. She's not. I don't think she's going to stay away from home or build a life in a new area. I think she's going to come back to the area you're living in. So that's
Okay.
kind of what I'm seeing for you, Erica. And so I hope that was somewhat helpful.
That was. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. So thank you. Okay.
Okay.
So I want to get back to precognition a little bit because precognition is something that is very helpful. But if you only feel like you have that ability, then I would say to you that you're probably not paying attention. Okay. Or you may feel that precognition is the only way that your psychic ability is expressing itself. And I would say that that's not true. Now, I've talked about precognition in the past on the program, but I like to have these topics revolve because we're always getting a new audience, and I want to revisit things. But but the reality is that psychics generally see the past first, okay, and uh, and then they see the present, and then they see a future. It's just that if you're not trained or you're not used to looking at someone's past, because you just assume that it's maybe none of your business, or it may be so obvious to you that you don't see it as a psychic impression. Um, it's not something that you would call a psychic impression if you see someone's past, but it is because um, you do not know it, or you didn't realize those events happened to them until you saw it or you experienced it around them. See, the past is more solid energy. It's solid, and so it feels comfortable. It's a comfortable energy. Now, if it's a bad event, well, obviously that's not comfortable, but it's something that you pick up most more quickly than you would a future. Not unless it's on someone's mind. I can't tell you there's a hard fast rule to any one thing, but uh, but generally it's the past you pick up first, and then a hidden future, or a hidden present, and then a, um, a future, a presumed future. So that those are some of the things I wanted to say about precognition today. I also want to let you know that we are going on our third week of the Monday Astrologer, and we're getting into some nitty gritty stuff. And if you ever decide you want to take the Monday Astrologer, we'll start it up again here later on in the year after this course is finished. But astrology um, you have to take it in bits and pieces and then put it together. And that's what we're doing with that. And then also, we've started our classes on mediumship for those that qualify for the mediumship classes. And tonight, we're going to be discussing a lot of the areas of grief that people experience and what to look for when a spirit comes to you who's experienced a certain tragedy. You see, so now that this class is based on my book, Open the Mind, Heal the Heart, and it's my first book about grief. My second book about grief is going to be more about the stages of grief and the phases within it. So within each of the stages, and so I hope to get those published in the next year and a half. And I've got two more children's books that I'm really happy with the stories, but I got to get them polished. So I'll get those done as soon as I can. And it just takes time. You know, I'm kind of fussy about how I produce things. And I'm glad I am because I'm usually pleased with the finished product. So it's getting close for us to end our program today. I hope that you will keep me in mind if you would like a psychic reading. You can just go to john@johncappello.com. If you'd like to take some courses from me, be sure to watch for them. Now, this weekend, we're going to be at the Holistic Festival in Fort Worth. We didn't do the festival last weekend because of Mother's Day. And I want to be sure to say happy belated Mother's Day to all the moms out there. I didn't mention it last weekend, but I wanted to this weekend. So I also want to talk about our sponsor, Miracles of Joy. Be sure to use their promo code PSO223 on their website and buy a bunch of stuff from them. So you can binge watch our show on Moonstruck TV. And I want to say, you be sure to tune in to Amanda Hall, who's coming up here on the A1R Psychic Radio Network here in just a couple more minutes. So with that, I want to thank all of you once again for joining me today. I'm John Cappello. I'm a psychic medium, and this is the Psychic Side here on the A1R Psychic Radio Network. So long.